Now sit back for a moment and imagine this. You're engaged in a one-on-one fight with your enemy at point C, and you're absolutely obliterating him. It's clear you will be the victor in this tussle, and you will continue on to guard the point and keep a healing zone for your teammates. A fine day's work for a warrior like you. But then, out of the corner of your screen, you see it, moving ever closer. A horrifying realization sets in as you notice one of your random teammates is approaching your current fight. You cry out to your teammate, "I've got it! I've got it!" But alas, your attempts are in vain. Like a moth to a lamp, your supposed teammate jumps into the fight without using any of the remaining brain cells. After all, could you expect anything else when the creed he lives by is monkey see, monkey attack? Understanding that if you also continue to attack, you'll be merely adding fuel to the raging fire, you slowly creep backwards and gaze in horror as your enemy's revenge meter fills faster than the hatred for your ally. But it's already too late. Your teammate has already unwittingly sealed your own fate. The dreadful sound effect chimes through your headset as the terrifying yellow glow from your opponent illuminates your scared expression. Now the tables have turned and your opponent is stronger than ever. At least now that your teammate is here, maybe, just maybe, the same cause for this monstrosity could potentially be your savior. But wait, something's not right. As you try to make out what is behind the fury tornado, you see what looks to be your teammate, who is just with you. "What is this?" you scream. Your ally is retreating into the distance, completely avoiding you and your enemy altogether. As skilled of a hero as you may be, few can stand against an enraged opponent in revenge, and you eventually succumb to the Yellow Death. Another tragic ending that could have easily been avoided. Welcome back everyone to another episode of my For Honor how-to series. Although this is indeed a how-to based guide video, this will be on the topic of revenge instead of a particular hero. I'm sure many, if not all of you, have experienced the previous encounter on an all too frequent basis. My goal here today is to try and lessen the number of times this scenario happens by giving a simple guide on how revenge works. For Honor tracks revenge through something called the tag system. Although these tags aren't explicitly shown anywhere, I can assure you that they do indeed exist. Whenever you hit an opponent, you apply a hidden mathematical tracker simply called a tag. This tag lasts for 5 seconds, and every time you hit the opponent with any type of aggressive move, including bashes, guard breaks, and feats, the tag's timer will reset to 5 seconds. Although it's subtle, you can actually tell if your enemy has any tags applied to them, as their orange icon will begin to blink white. Once it returns to normal, all tags from both you and your ally have expired. This means you can have 4 different tags currently applied to enemies, 1 for each enemy, and 4 tags simultaneously applied on you. Now, I want to make something clear. If you are looking to gain revenge, your revenge gain begins when you have more tags stuck to yourself than you have tags applied on other people. In this example clip, I use my zone attack to hit both the Warden and the Pirate. This means I have 2 tags currently applied to enemies. However, the Warden hit me at the same time I hit him, so he also stuck one of his tags on me. Shortly after, the Pirate dodge attacks me, adding another tag, and even though it is definitely within the 5 seconds of the Warden hitting me, you'll notice I don't gain any revenge. This is because my tags applied to both of them are still active. This is a 2-to-2 ratio of tags, and thus I don't gain revenge. The revenge system is set up like this, so during teamfights, revenge gain isn't completely out of control. It is also important to note there is a revenge gain multiplier when there are more than 2 tags on the same target. This means all revenge gains on your opponent will be increased when they have 3 tags, and even more if there are 4. It doesn't take much playtime to notice the 3 tag multiplier is pretty potent, and smart teams will almost never allow for an opponent to accumulate 3 tags. Lastly, the more damage your attack deals, the more revenge it feeds. This amount can sometimes be affected by feats, allowing you to deal more damage but simultaneously feed more revenge. The way revenge works makes proper ganking so incredibly powerful, and honestly needed. In essence, ganking is the method of dealing the most possible damage while simultaneously feeding as little revenge as possible. With you and your teammates flailing wildly around without a plan or strategy likely leads to innumerable incidents where giving the opponent revenge could have otherwise been avoided. Of course, proper ganking and confirming for your allies is almost impossible with randoms, but in a coordinated team, it's a much different story, and I guarantee you will not only win more fights, but also win more games as a result.
Holy shit! Whoa!
When playing with randoms that have absolutely no clue how revenge works and simply jump into any fight and start feeding, I just back off the fight completely and let my tag dissipate. I allow my teammate to fight them off, and I sometimes won't even peel for them because doing so would just reset my tag, and since my randoms don't realize this, they just go back to feeding for the next 5 seconds. Something else I want to add is that this tag system is why sometimes it feels like players are able to get revenge in 1v1s. As an example from this clip, I am being attacked by a Zanu and a Shinobi. The Zanu hits me with an attack but dies shortly after. Despite his death, his tag remains active for its full duration, and the Shinobi makes the mistake of continuing his aggression. This allows me to fully gain revenge at the last second and completely turn the tide of the fight. It's quite surprising how many players, despite playing the game for years, still don't understand how revenge works. I hope this short video today was helpful for some of you, and although I didn't have all the specific mathematical numbers and all that, plenty of other content creators have that stuff published, so if you want to go even deeper, I highly encourage you looking for it there. I know I mentioned proper ganking in this video, and while I don't know every specific gank that exists, I've acquired fairly decent knowledge of how to gank and how to teamfight properly, and I'd be more than happy to make a video on that in the future if that's something you guys would like to see. I would like to thank my buddies for helping me with the intro of this video, and I would like to remind you all to keep letting me know of other heroes or videos you would like to see me showcase in the future. As always, take care and hope to see you in the next one.